and welcome back to Guild Wars 2. Today we are starting the Path of Fire expansion. Very exciting. We get to go to a desert, I believe. That's what it's called. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head. But we start off, we go to Lion's Arch, and we meet the contact to get more information. And she's like, yep, you can ride our airship, have fun. And they kind of fill us in with everything that's happening, and essentially we're pretty sure Balthazar is in that area, and we're obviously still trying to find him and get him situated with life. We don't want him bopping around anymore. We would very much like him to not be in the picture, messing everything up. So, it does end up being, it's kind of just like, oh no, we're just here by ourselves. Nobody else is coming with us, which kind of makes the person that's like, what do you mean it's just you? Like, I thought we were getting like the whole guild, like all of your companions, your friends, like it's just you. You're gonna take on Balthazar by yourself. What? So we obnoxiously just had to follow her around this little area for like 5 minutes. I really have no idea why we needed to walk and talk. She was kind of like showing us what was going on, but like it's literally just piles of stuff and like people or whatever, and like it was just annoying to try and follow her around and talk to her. It really was not a necessity. I was trying to pay attention. I really was. It did not sink in. But I mean, it really wasn't much going on. It's just, yep, shit's going down in the desert. Have fun. I think that's pretty much it. Like, it really, shit's going down in the desert. Go get on an airship. Go to the desert. We're heading to Amnoon. It's a free city. And at this point, we don't have much lore or backstory about what's going on in the desert. Realistically, it's kind of just like, there's stuff going on. So, Amnoon is where refugees and survivors and stuff are going, and we're going on Queen Jenna's behalf, essentially to help where we can and provide aid and assistance where we can. And they're just trying in general to help out. And I walked this whole way because I could. I realized after, I'm like, there was probably a waypoint I probably could have transported to or whatever, but we walked. It's fine. So we walk all the way out there, and just this little airship that we go out. Surprisingly, not like a huge catastrophe flying out there. I think my character even mentioned it at one point. Last time I was on an airship, things may or may not have ended the greatest. Like, maybe not airship. Like, why airship? Maybe something else? Maybe a different mode of transport? So we get this really pretty cutscene of us heading over all of these lands and things to get to the desert. I really don't even know, like, what in theory we're supposed to be flying over. Like, But then we get to this part and we see the pyramids and the sands, and we end up stopping at this pyramid because it's clearly there's stuff going on. There's stuff crumbling. There's a lot of commotion. And these guys are just like, okay, well, we're going in. Like, you can go in if you want. Like, I know we're just your transportation to Amnoon. And I was like, well, obviously I'm going in. Like, A, I need to see if it's Balthazar causing this mischief and mayhem. And B, like, I'm not just gonna ignore people in trouble. Like, that's not what we do. So we kind of just dive headfirst into battle and try to save whatever people are around. We're beating up the Forged, which I think are the people that Balthazar has recruited to his goal, recruited to his vision. Because we end up, as we're going through, as we're going through, we do end up learning about several other factions. But as of right now, in the prologue intro first part, we're just focused on Balthazar. And there was some pretty interesting fights and stuff going on. Balthazar's got some pretty interesting allies at this point, apparently. He's just wreaking havoc on the world. Obviously when we get here, we're not 100% sure what his motives are at this point. Like, we know he wants to destroy the Elder Dragons, but we're not really 100% sure, like, what he thinks he's gonna find out here, is my understanding. And, like, we just really don't, because we're not 100% sure in what he's doing and what his motives are, we have no idea where to find him. That's the whole premise of this first section is, how is he doing? And realistically, this is supposed to convey, like, we're super far away from, like, the mainland, like, where you started out, but it doesn't really, I don't know, it's hard to tell. I haven't looked, like, on a map, like, where the desert is in retrospect to everything else in the world. But this is just beating up Balthazar's big boss guy person and following him through these ruins and pyramids and towns that he's destroying. And we reach this city, and there's a lot of fire. Obviously, fire. And then I apologize. So many yawns. We have to save the village from the Forged, which again wasn't particularly obnoxious of a battle. I think I died like once or twice just because I misstepped a little bit. I can only take on so many people. I cannot take on everyone. I'm very good against a couple people, or like a bunch of squishy people, or like a couple hard people, not a whole army. I cannot run into the middle of an entire army and win. That's not a fight I can win. I try, but it's not how it goes. But I lost my train of thought. It's a little village, and then we do end up having to beat up... Why did I think there was another fire puppy to beat up? For some reason, I was thinking there was another fire puppy to beat up, but apparently... Or I'm just totally misremembering where I am in this footage. This battle might be way longer than I think it is. Very likely. It's definitely longer than I thought it was. I guess I died more than once. So it's like, you know, I'll just shoot you from afar because I can, bitches. Poison you. I poison you. And then this one dude is still, like, not taking much damage, so... I really wasn't sure, like... Oh, it wasn't quite a fire puppy. I guess it was sort of a fire puppy. He was annoying. He was annoying. He shot flames out of his mouth. So then we were chasing this guy down, and there's more hounds. Okay, so they're not quite like Balthazar's hellhounds initially, but they are definitely fire puppies. For sure, they are smaller fire puppies. Again, they obviously needed to double them up because one wouldn't have been super difficult. As you can see, one's almost entirely dead by this time. I died once. I don't know why I'm so tired. It's not that late. I'm making this. Sorry. Watching the footage. So yeah, beat up the fire puppies, and at that point we kind of realized we can't go after initially the one person we were chasing, so we end up talking to and helping people in the area, and we end up putting out fires and stuff, and we finally get our first mount. So we speak with these couple of people, and they give us access to mounts, and using the raptors to get around. And using a raptor is interesting. Like, it's definitely a lot faster than walking. I have to remember I have it. So it's something new. It's a new hack key. Like, it's not something that I'm used to having it, so obviously you gotta learn how to use it. And like, if you're in combat, you can't like just switch onto it. So he gives us like a fire extinguisher, which is pretty cool. So we could just ride around on this raptor and extinguish the fire. Which I will say, when I was first doing it, I thought like, oh, rescuing the villagers was like the whole point. Like, I don't know if I just didn't read it all the way or what, or if I was just being like stubborn, but I was like, oh, clearly I just have to rescue the people. No, I had to do a little bit more than that. I had to put out fires too. That was useful. I did almost burn my raptor a few times. They don't like it. They don't like that at all. So this was just a lot of figuring out what the raptors can actually do and what they can actually jump and stuff like that. And we know how good I am at moving around in this game, so it's hard. I mean, gliding was not the most well, alright, gliding was only annoying because of how the length of time you're able to glide. This you can ride indefinitely until like the raptor takes enough damage that you get knocked off of it, or if you're in combat, you can't switch onto it. But like, trying to just figure out like what I can and cannot jump onto. The raptors seem to be good at jumping like lengthwise and not necessarily like vertical, is what I'm learning. But you do get different mounts. Like, it's a whole new training thing, like mastery point thing. Like, mounts are like all of the Path of Fire stuff. Yay. So you have to unlock a bunch of like the raptor mount stuff, and then you can go into unlocking other mounts. So, dude, the people that have like some crazy mounts unlocked, I can't imagine how much Path of Fire nonsense they've done. Cause like, you need so much experience in the maps. But Living World Season 4 probably utilizes the Path of Fire masteries, so they can probably get away doing some of that too. And yeah, it's about this time I realized that putting out fires are helpful to my cause and shall make it go a little faster. I like to make things take as long as possible. But Path of Fire is keeping up the trend that started in one of the living worlds where like completing the hearts was necessary. So that seems to be their new like, okay, well, people aren't doing the heart missions if they're not part of the story. Let's do it. So they just like combined them. But I think for the most part you can like redo heart missions if you wanted to. I think. I really don't know. So yeah, we have our raptor and we start on that one. And then we're not done yet though. That's not where this first section ends. We gotta make our way into Amnoon. So now that we have our raptor and we've saved this part of the village, we have to go through the mines, and this was set up pretty much so you could navigate around with your raptor and kind of figure out the general gist of things and how to fight with them. Or at least it's not really fight with them because you only have that one ability, but like, it is what it is. So this is just running around this area and eliminating all of the cave spiders and making sure all of the silly little raptors know that they can go be free, go back to the people, live happily ever after. Veteran cave spider. Always fun. Always fighting veterans of things. So then there was this one like last little section that we had to do that was fairly annoying to try and find because it was like this one little cave spider. Actually, it might have been a whole slew of them, but it was just like a couple of cave spiders that were just hiding in the corner that like didn't instantly attack me. Like literally two little spiders just hiding, and I was like, okay. And then we go through and we approach the northern gate. And I'm obviously terrible at jumping in a raptor because I've only done it like 4 times. So we make our way to Amnoon. And it's essentially like, what do you think you're doing? And they're like, helping? Excuse me? And we also, can't communicate with Timey. We have to find somewhere at some point to communicate with her. But yeah, we see Casimir and Ritlock show up. they're like, she's with us? Like, you seriously not gonna let her in? Like, excuse you? So yeah, it's my reputation precedes me, apparently. It was kind of nice to see Casimir, not gonna lie. I kind of figured she was just gonna bail out and we weren't gonna see her. But yeah, that's what we've got today. We are in the Crystal Oasis, and that's where we shall pick up next time. Bye guys, have a wonderful day.